Man, former NBA champ, coach of the year, Avery Johnson. Avery, what do we make of all these injuries right now? This is not good.
No, it's not good. This is one of the worst nightmares for the NBA and all of their fans globally, just all around the world. You want to see the star players on the court. The NBA playoffs, they are about the star players, and these guys playing extraordinarily well, especially during those big moments of games. You look at a dunk from Ja Morant last night. And that really turned that series around. And now Memphis has a 3-2 lead. And you look at Middleton, he's obviously the Robin to Batman with Giannis in Milwaukee, and to have those guys out. Devin Booker, unfortunately, is hobbled with a grade 1 hamstring strain. So it's just really unfortunate. But that's why it's a team sport. It's not golf. It's not tennis. You got to rely on the rest of the team. The same way the Suns relied on their supporting cast. Mikal Bridges came up big last night to lead the Suns to a 3-2 victory in terms of that series with the Pelicans. And that's what's going to happen for all of these teams involved that have their top players out, whether it's a Jimmy Butler, Chris Middleton, Devin Booker, and now Zach LaVine out with the Chicago Bulls. Where do they go to get that type of an offense from this roster that they have currently organized?
Yeah, that roster is riddled with injuries. So let's talk a little bit about the Bulls because let's be frank, it's not looking good for them. Game 5 elimination game tonight for them, down 3-1. So you mentioned Zach LaVine now gone out in COVID protocols. Alex Caruso's out with that concussion. Lonzo Ball has been out. So how do they try to work against this Bucks team tonight in Milwaukee?
Well, it's going to be tough because all of the 3 guys that you mentioned, Ball, Caruso, and LaVine, they're all 3-point shooters. That's what they all have in common. And DeMar DeRozan is not a 3-point shooter. He hasn't been effective at all from behind the 3-point line in this series. So the floor is going to shrink. DeRozan is not going to have much room to operate because he just doesn't have enough 3-point threats to spread the floor. Even Vucevic in the paint, he's not going to have room to operate. So look for Milwaukee to really play a glorified man-to-man that's going to look like a zone because of the lack of shooting. Look for them to take the ball out of DeRozan's hands with certain traps because, in terms of the backsides of their rotations, they won't need to close out to the 3-point line. So this is a tough uphill climb for the Chicago Bulls without Zach LaVine, without Caruso, and we know they've been without Lonzo Ball for months now.
Yeah, the Bucks are double-digit favorites here, but look, it's never easy. How do they close it out tonight? They're still without Chris Middleton. He's been out since game 2. The Bulls are riddled with injuries, but the Bucks, they want to get it done. So how do they do that?
Well, it's the Drew Holiday show. A lot of times you focus on Giannis, but this is all about Drew Holiday and the way he can really play on the ball, off the ball, his 3-point shooting, his defense. That's the one thing I love about Milwaukee, similar to Boston. They have a lot of two-way players. And then when you throw in the Greek Freak, who's the best player, and I said it on CBS Sports HQ a couple of days ago, there's not a person in Chicago, there's not a person in the state of Illinois, the state of Wisconsin that can slow the Greek Freak down. He's just that good when he wants to get to the basket. And then if he's making his free throws and his outside shot, he's almost impossible to guard. So look for Milwaukee to close out Chicago, win this game decisively, and move on to the next round.
Avery, let's stay in the East. The Celtics put it on cruise control past the Nets. We all saw that. They're waiting for the winner of this Bucks-Bulls series. It does appear it will be the Bucks. Look, the Celtics are the betting favorite to win the East. Your pick was the Bucks, but how impressed were you with this Celtics team, and how difficult will they be moving forward?
Yeah, and thanks for reminding me, Amanda. I'm sticking with my pick, the Bucks, and they will represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals this year. But I'm very impressed with the Celtics have done. The Celtics, they exposed the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets weren't very good defensively. Their lack of size on the perimeter. They were obviously traded James Harden, no Ben Simmons. And you look at this trio of Marcus Smart and Brown and Jason Tatum, these guys playing at all three levels, but they can guard their position, and then they can switch. They have Robert Williams, a center that can switch on point guards the same way Bam Adebayo switched and really shut down Trae Young in that series. These guys are for real. And give Ime Udoka credit, their coach. It was a mismatch in terms of coaching between he and Steve Nash, but that's going to be different because Mike Budenholzer is an NBA Finals championship coach. He knows what he's doing. They're both from that same San Antonio coaching tree. So this is going to be a very, very interesting series. I still pick the Bucks. I know the Bucks got to finish off the Bulls, which they will do tonight. But I will go with the Bucks in this series, a long, hard-fought series. But I will pick the Bucks to beat the Celtics in 7 once we get to that point in the semifinals of the Eastern Conference.
That's just it. There's so much more ahead of us, but we always love looking ahead, right? Okay, so let's look ahead a little bit. The Celtics are the second favorite to win the NBA title. The favorite right now are the Warriors. Now, you did pick the Bucks to win it all. We'll set that aside for just a second. Look, the Warriors, they're healthier than most teams. Given that, though, producer Jackie says, look, they look sick. They look so good right now. What chance do you give the Warriors right now, given how things are unfolding and how good they look?
Oh, they look extremely well. Oh, my God. And when you develop a guy like Jordan Poole, who spent a lot of time in the G League last year, and now he's basically taking the Kevin Durant's role as that next scorer that's capable of getting 30 points. And then you add him in a mix with the Splash Brothers, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. This will give coaches nightmares in terms of scouting reports, because who are you going to slow down? Who are you going to try to take out of the game? And Steph Curry's coming off the bench. What team has the luxury of having a Steph Curry come off the bench? Draymond Green with his leadership, his defense, and when they go to that small ball lineup, when Wiggins is at the 4 and Draymond Green is at the 5, who's going to guard Draymond? Are you going to trap the pick and rolls? Or are you going to try to go over? You're going to play single coverage on Steph Curry. You're going to trap him. And if you do, who are you going to leave open? That's a prolific lineup, very well constructed team. It also speaks to their player development. And right now they deserve to be the odds-on favorite, especially with Devin Booker not healthy to play in the Phoenix Suns lineup.
Avery Johnson, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. If you head over to another Mavs game, enjoy that as well. We'll talk to you soon. NBA games we got coming up tonight. We got 2 elimination games going down. The Bucks can close it out, move on to face the Celtics. The Warriors with the win, they will move on and await the winner of Memphis and Minnesota. Memphis now up 3-2 thanks to that jaw-dropping performance. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.